just jump into game number 1. Valley Christian and Campo Verde fighting off here.
Let's hop into it, and this is going to be the first series. Like we said earlier, this is a best of 7 in every single series. Winner takes home the entire tournament, obviously, but more than that, you get a trophy, you get a couple of goodies, a lot of extras, and a lot of pride for your high school, Corelli.
Absolutely. It's a big deal to come out and play for your school inside of your state. This is local competition. You know, so much of this competition is sometimes online. To actually get that experience in person, not only on land, but against local schools, something that you don't always get.
And speaking of just, players in this tournament to watch out for, we've got Debo, who mentioned in his interview has already, wanted to prove himself in the collegiate level. I do know that he has been talking with GCU. He's been sitting on their tryouts. So these players, we might see them in CRL. We might see them maybe even in the pro leagues one day. There's a lot of potential on the field. And of course, with that, a lot of pressure to perform.
Yeah, we have spoken to them a little bit about where they want to go in Rocket League. We heard from Debo and Darkus about their aspirations, but some of these guys do want to go on and play in college. That's a great flip reset from Goldheart. That's one way to start off the stream.
This is the best way to introduce everybody to some high school Rocket League, and it's just showing what they're capable of. Look at that flip reset, Goldheart. Nice little scoop over 2 players, and starting out strong here.
Great way to start. And in fashion, too. Don't always get it like that. Goldheart, here he goes again. This is dangerous the way he's been playing. If he can get it up off the ceiling, he's going to attack again. This one towards the net. The defense struggling to keep up with another one high. Campo to put it home and a 2-0 lead.
And these guys are just bouncing back and forth off of each other. Look at the passes from the backboard. It was wide open. Dementor King couldn't react in time, can't get into the position, and we just slot it home here for Valley Christian.
So what a start for Valley Christian. They are up off the wall, off the ceiling. Goldheart has been a one-man army. He was the one to at least break free for that second goal, but he was certainly the one to put away the first. Now Debo puts it high off the crossbar. It still goes in, and a 3-0 lead for Valley Christian.
And we're not even at the halfway point here in game number 1. And you can see Debo, he has been a menace on the field. Crossbar down and in. These guys know how to get some work done, and they do it efficiently.
Executing here in the first minute and a half is Valley Christian. And for Darkus trying to get a hold of this sample, trying to find some space out of his own end, but it's been difficult, and this is a dangerous ball. Here comes Goldheart, and turned away by Sample.
You can just see the pressure right now mounting for Valley Christian. A lot of movement on the backboard. They definitely dominate in the aerial space, and boost starving has been a big factor for why we're not seeing a lot of moves by Campo Verde. They can't even get to the ball with enough boost to hit it or find contact. And this is another wide open Goldheart. Swings through.
He's always just around the corner. Campo Verde struggling to keep up with him, and a great shot from Goldheart to trickle this one in. Everyone was spread out from Campo Verde. And Valley Christian, excuse me. Boy, they've come out swinging in the first 2 minutes.
And to be honest, this was somewhat expected. Like I was mentioning earlier, Corelli, of all the teams, these guys really have come out and impressed me the most with the professionalism that we're witnessing out of them. Of course, you've got a player who wants to play collegiate. He's already in talks with GCU. These guys are some fan favorites, but that's not to discredit right now. Campo Verde, they definitely earned their spot in this tournament, and they could see a comeback, but they got to build some momentum early on, or honestly, right now in game number 1 if they want to have a chance. Otherwise, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board, Corelli.
Yeah, you talk to, especially when it comes to pro players, a lot of the first game is figuring out what your opponent's bringing to the table. Right now, I think Campo Verde is certainly finding that out. It's great communication coming out from Valley Christian as well. It seems like they're definitely on the same page right now. It's not so much of just seeing what lands as they smack the ball down the field. There's intention behind it, and you're seeing that from Valley Christian. Great little fake from Game Fu as well. Now looking for some space with no boost, pops it up, tries to set him up. Goldheart's there. Double tap off the sidewall, and a 5-0 lead.
And I just love this assist from Game Fu. I mean, he had no boost, working with literally nothing in the tank, and a nice little chip shot over into the middle. Follow through for Goldheart, who has also been a vital player right now for Valley Christian. A lot of us have been talking about Debo and talking about his GCU potential, but all 3 of these guys on Valley Christian know how to put some work up and know how to score some points.
That was a great opportunity there for Sample to put that one on target, put it just wide. Debo getting punched out of the way by Sample. Campo Verde trying to set up something, but it's Goldheart again, dangerous from this position. And Campo Verde, they've struggled to deal with that shot from the ceiling. Now Sample lets that one go for Dementor King. It's popped up, and again, Darkus is there, but can't get over it. And now Gamefu, can he get another touch? Bouncing up dangerously, setup is there, and Debo decides not to go. As he's waiting to see what Campo Verde is going to bring.
No, we're looking for a nice follow-up from the backboard, which has been wide open. Campo Verde, it's a double commit, dangerous territory. Gamefu, good follow-up, still off the corner. And it's 5-0. I mean, at this point, you're just smooth sailing into game number 2 if you're Valley Christian. You don't have to worry too much, Corelli. You came out and did exactly what was expected in game number 1.
Absolutely. We talked about, you know, the seriousness coming out from Valley Christian. It's definitely showing in game 1. They are all business. Their coaching staff certainly got their team revved up and ready to play today. Gamefu and Debo trying to play it down the sideline. Campo Verde trying to get possession now. Dementor King towards target. Debo's there, can't get there in time, and finally, Campo Verde on the board.
First goal here, and it's a banger. Top right corner, Dementor King. Huge speed there to get over Goldheart. Rotation not in time for Debo, but unfortunately, there just isn't enough seconds on the clock to get back into this, but that's a good momentum builder right now for the squad, for Campo Verde, as they have got to just find some momentum. I mean, game 1, obviously a lot of the nerves are going to have to get out the way. You're going to have to figure out what it feels like to play on these setups. Even scrims don't do it justice. What it's like to actually be in an actual game where, you know, pressure is on the line, Corelli. And hopefully in game 2, they find their footing, get a little bit more comfortable out there on the pitch.
Absolutely. Like we said, you know, game 1, a lot of times is a game where you spend some time feeling out what your opponent's going to bring to the table. And Goldheart, he's at 4 goals on 9 shots in game 1. These are stats that players might put up in a whole series, and he's done it here with 28 seconds left.
And he's doing it off of the hard work of that demo. Still, we might see a Brazil, and this has got to be so much confidence for Valley Christian. They came out here, and game 1 is very telling of the skill that we're going to see. But again, this is a long series, and this is still a long game number 1. It just doesn't seem to let up when it comes to the scoring department of Valley Christian.
Yeah, confidence, but maybe it's just expectation.
Right.
And for Valley Christian, this might be their expectation coming into game 1, demoralizing their opponent here. 7-1 is the scoreline with 22 seconds left. Valley Christian all over Campo Verde right now.
Here we go, another one for Gamefu. Can we get 8? Looking to add on to the tally, make it even worse for these boys. But right now, if you're Campo Verde, you just want to stop the bleeding, put a Band-Aid over it, because there is, unfortunately, a whole rest of the series, several more games to be played. And you can come back, Corelli. This has been a rough showing, but of course, so much that you can do to change, to improve, to find better rotations, and stick it to Valley.
Yeah, you absolutely can. I think for Valley Christian, this was a really good showing in game 1. One that I think, again, they expected.
Yeah.
And for Campo Verde, I think they have a long way to go as game 1 comes to an end. They get 1 on the board, 3 shots, but it's the 21 out of Valley Christian that I'm looking at here on the stats.
Yes, sir, 21
it's
shots.
a little scary to look at.
That's the exact game 1 you want, Corelli. I don't think you could get any better than this, to be honest, if you're Valley Christian. And you're comfortable, you got a lot of touches on the ball. Campo Verde, I mean, what do they need to change now moving into game number 2? What are we looking at, Corelli? Is this just a full reset? Was there really much to even harp about?
All eyes have to be on Goldheart. I mean, he's the guy who's just been out of this mind, out of this world, I think, in the beginning of the game. And then he was the real, I think, kind of catalyst for their offense later on as well. He scored the first goal, helped with the second goal, and then was a shooter for the rest of the game. So Valley Christian, again, I think it's more of expectation for him right now. This was what they expected when they came out.
Well, it's just nice to know that, I keep mentioning it, but, you know, you got to focus on what we were aware of this team. It was Debo. He was the quote-unquote star player, but then to have somebody like Goldheart come out, and he's the one putting up numbers, he's the one putting up shots, that is monumental now for this roster, showing that they're well-rounded and they can do it all, Corelli.
Yeah, absolutely, and they have been able to do it all. And for Valley Christian, business as usual, I think, going into game 2, Campo Verde. I think the big key here is you got to shut down Goldheart.
Got to shut him down. And the question is, how do you do that? Where's the defense? How do you get involved now, Corelli, as we're going to get into game number 2? Hop on in here. And look, I'm looking forward to seeing this Campo Verde bounce back.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to need to. You can't let free shots rain, as you saw in game number 1. What was it? 21 shots. Double tap for Goldheart. That's the man you don't want shooting. And Valley Christian in the first 17 seconds on the board.
I mean, he's just on fire. This man cannot stop. You give him an opportunity, he's going to take it, and he is going to make it look silly. The defense scrambling for Campo Verde, and it's just more and more of the same for Valley Christian.
Valley Christian looking to just pick up where they left off. And you're asking, like, what do you do? How do you slow down
what do you do?
A Valley Christian squad that's been playing so quick and putting quality shots on target? The biggest thing is you got to put a hand up, right? You got to get a touch on that ball off the back wall. You got to have someone in front of the shooter. You've got to have someone ready. And right now, I think the pace of play from Valley Christian just too quick.
Yeah, and you know, at this point, you can't even really match them in the air. So I think it's going to come down to more of a strategic approach, maybe shifting your play style to warrant somebody not going for a lot of aerials, trying not to get as much boost usage out there on the field. You're going to try and just conserve it more because you can't even match them in the air. So at this point, you play a passive approach, Corelli. Go for that defensive turtled up style on the defense.
And that's just going to limit your opportunity on offense as well. That's the big danger with kind of turtling up, as you said. And you let guys like Goldheart have so much space. Debo plays this one across. Dementor King just trying to find a way out, relieve some pressure, allow his teammates to pick up boost to maybe make the next play. Here comes Debo. Flip reset to the back wall. He did get it. Unfortunately.
I like the little hat, too.
The little hamburger on top.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
he's stylish, dude. He's out there. He's stunning hard. That's what we want to see.
You know, we don't get too many toppers, right?
No.
We don't get too many of these on. And wow, that was confusing, I think, for Goldheart as the ball was pinballing inside the box. Game Food, look, he's got the sunglasses on. I think those are colored as well, the blue ones.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting a lot of stylish car designs out here. It's not the usual typical pro design where everybody just has the exact same decal. The Fennec
with the planned,
the Cristianos, the Alpha Boost, and then that's it, man. Ship it. These guys, they got to get a little bit more creative, and creative indeed is what we see. Game Fu dicing through the defense.
That was clean from Game Fu. I think for the defense, just not expecting him to pop this one up and over to Dementor King. He has to go. If he sits in net with that boost amount, there's really not much he can do. Game Fu could just pick his spot. 3-0 lead now for Valley Christian. Campo Verde, they've been able to slow down the offense a little bit from Valley Christian, but haven't been able to show their own offense.
I mean, it's so hard. It's one thing to just stop the onslaught of shots out of Valley Christian, but then to also plan ahead, get something moving on the offensive side. At that point, you're just asking for too much. They managed to get one right before the game ended previously, but you know, it was a chip shot. It was from the midfield. I think you could expect to see a Valley Christian over rotation. Maybe they're getting too aggressive, too confident right now on the field, but if that's the only thing you're aiming for, I don't know how much of a shot you've got to throw something at the backboard of the defense of Valley.
Well, they're just struggling to get something going. That's the biggest thing for Campo Verde, is just staying above water, right? Stopping the bleeding. They've been able to do that a little bit here. Debo's going to put this one high, double tap coming, and Debo puts it home this time, 4-0.
Come on, the flashiest is coming out. The mechanics are here. They've arrived. Valley Christian off the backboard. Dementor King almost had a touch. He had the read slightly off. I mean, that was just pixels away from getting the save.
And those are the moments that we're talking about, right? Where you got to put a hand up. You've got to get your hands on the ball there. Or your car, I guess, in this sense. But you got to get someone.
On the car, on the wheel.
Yeah, that's right.
All these metaphors, Corella. Oh, okay, Game Food. They're going all out right now.
And then sometimes you just get outplayed, right? There's sometimes you just go, you tip your cap and you say, you know what? That's a great flick on from Game Food. Finesse perfectly into the left side, into the left corner. And for a defense, I don't care who you are, that's a tough one to defend.
I mean, you're not saving that, Corelli. You got how many hours in this game? I know you're not touching that ball. Okay, I'm certainly not.
4,000 or something.
4,000? Okay, that's rookie numbers, okay?
I know, it's actually not that much.
Wait, full reset?
Oh my gosh.
With the musty and the double tap, these guys, they're going crazy.
Clean from Goldheart. And he's gone up the ceiling. You knew that was going to come a couple times. He's been able to catch his touch off the ceiling multiple times. Good indication of a player who's pretty good.
Yeah.
The second you see something like that, you know this guy's the real deal. And so for Campo Verde, we talked about it, right? Like, what do you do? You got to shut down their star player, and Goldheart has certainly been the star player, at least in this series.
But it looks like they're bearing out a little bit. I mean, getting out of this with a shovel, it has been slow digging at that, but they found ways. Corelli, that was a nice little opportunity in the midfield. That was their first chance, but now you got to deal with the offense of Valley Christian. And we've seen how just diverse they have. So many different weapons on offense. Now it's going to be a huge clear from their own defensive side. Of course it's on target. Of course it's fallen in. And of course it's Goldheart.
Yeah, of course it's Goldheart. And I don't blame Campo Verde for setting the house on this one. You get it finally to the back wall. You get an opportunity to put a shot on target. You don't connect with it, but at this point, you got nothing to lose. You're already down 5 goals at that point, now 6. Got to find something.
Got to find something. I mean, any type of morale booster, even 1 goal here to end game number 2 off. But still, I just don't know how you shut them down if you don't have the speed, Corelli. That is the #1 factor. Things have to, shift drastically. You've got to change your entire play style, essentially. Much more defensive approach. You can't be throwing yourself at challenges at this point. Hit the brakes, back up a little bit, give them the space they want, and hope they overcommit.
I think in many cases, though, if you give that to Goldheart, he's just going to capitalize. That one off the post. Darkest, he doesn't have boost to work with, but he will go up the wall.
I mean, that's just the risk you got to take, though, at this point. You just hope that they miss, hope they're not on their game. And you can counterattack because this is too much space, but what are they going to do with it?
Nobody's got boost on the Campo Verde side, so now they're just going to have to defend from the ground. Someone's got to get up. A bump comes through. Dementor King there. And as Goldheart gets a flick onto the back wall. Did he open up the net? He did, and I think Gamefu messed up the flow. Debo got to push this one away from the defense. It's smart to keep the attack going with 10 seconds left. Campo Verde might be shut out here in game 2.
A nice chip over the defense. Can we get 1 to go? Goldheart wants a flip reset, maybe a musty flick. He's been going for that all game long, but it will hit the ground. Valley Christian taking game number 2. And that was just an impressive performance, an impressive showing so far from this crew. They can do it all. The mechanics, the rotations are there. It's really something special from this roster. And we've seen very well-rounded individuals, very well-rounded plays. We're not seeing, obviously we're getting the star moments, the highlights from players like Goldheart as we do take a look at Valley Christians now on our screen. And it's been expected, Corelli, but that doesn't mean I don't want to count out Campo Verde. I mean, it's been tough, it's been difficult, but they still got some fight in them. I can sense it, I can feel it, Corelli.
They can feel it? All right, well, we'll see. Take a look at the Goldheart there. And yeah, I mean, he's been a star throughout.
Yeah.
And he's been tough to shut down. He's very calm. At least he was in that
they
picture.
look so composed, this entire team. Ever since they came in, ever since they showed up, it's been something special from these guys. And I think a lot of that has to do with the way that their coach approaches it. These guys have a full stacked roster right now to support them. And that really helps out whenever you're nervous. You've got people behind, you've got the faculty, you've got the facilities, everything to keep your nerves suppressed.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's tough. It's tough because, I mean, when you get blown out a couple games, it's tough to come back into it. We'll have to jump into game 3. Remember, this is a best of 7, so there is time for Campo Verde to get back into this if they can. The way things have been going, the way Debo's been shooting that one up and over the first man, and 12 seconds gone by, Valley Christian on the board.
And we got in just in time to see this beautiful play from Debo popping up on your screen. Look at the flick right now to get over that final defender, sail it home, and that is the way you want to start out game number 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Campo Verde starting off in the hole again. And here comes Goldheart. This one's scary. Got to flip.
Still got his flip.
And placement matters here from Gamefu. And great save from Dementor King trying to keep this one away. Campo Verde have got to keep possession. Not allow Valley Christian to set up the way they have.
And now I'm just nervous for Campo Verde. If they let this game run away, it's going to be even worse. We're looking at a reverse sweep in a best of 7. Those things do not happen often, Corelli. And right now, we are following down that trajectory.
Goldheart again, putting away another shot. That time, defense just not there in time. But for Goldheart, stacking up the goals. I haven't actually been writing down how many he had, but
he's just tallying it up.
He's about to have 10, I think, in this series. At least at the end of it, maybe more than 10. As another shot comes through and add another tally. That's
another
2 now,
one.
2 for 2 for Goldheart, 3-0 for Valley Christian.
Oh, I like that challenge from Debo. I mean, he just keeps it in play, and that's so important. Then he goes on to get a bump, And that is what we're looking for when it comes to, you know, star players. What do they do off the ball? What are they doing, and how are they impacting everything when they're not immediately in that rotation, touching, you know, getting a touch on the ball, going for a flip reset, when they're out of the play, Corelli, and they just don't stop.
Oh my gosh, Goldheart coming out of nowhere. And for Sample, this is a fine touch to try and get this one out from your back wall, but Goldheart, he smelled that one from a mile away and took advantage right into his lap and put it down. Got a little help from defense as well, but 4-0 in the first minute. Valley Christian, once again, allowing Goldheart just to go crazy. Another flip reset to the back wall, double tap down to Debo. Debo's there, and a highlight play for Valley Christian.
Another one. It is just the more the merrier for this squad. Flip reset, you get over one player, double tap off the backboard. Debo is sitting comfy, looking pretty, waiting for the follow-up. And it is 5-0. A stomp so far in game number 3. This has been the best performance out of Valley Christian, and that is truly saying something because they've been lights out in every single game.
Yeah, Valley Christian has just been stellar. And here's Goldheart again. Double tap looming, down and away. Goldheart again, putting home one that he can put on the montage. And Debo with a great little setup. That one kind of pinched out for him, and then back wall touch for Goldheart. Again, that's a tough ball to save. I don't care who you are. When he got that space, even world-class players aren't going to make that save.
And one of the few KBM players, if not, I believe the only KBM, we'll have to double-check that fact, but I know that obviously KBM, very rare individuals, not a lot of those guys out there in the world, so it's crazy to see, you know, a little representation for the non-controller players. And we are just honestly seeing a highlight reel for Valley Christian. The pressure doesn't stop. It is mounting for them. Campo Verde, unfortunately, unable to deal with this, as it has been pretty one-sided throughout this entire series.
Yeah, you can see Game 2 on your screen right there. He's smiling. He's having a good time. He's finally getting on the board here. We haven't even had to say his name much because it's just been Goldheart and Debo linking up, but he's been contributing, and he certainly does there.
Team. It's important to have those players who, you know, don't mind taking a back seat. And Rocket League is one of those games where anybody can be popping off. And we mentioned his name, and I guess he wanted to show up.
There we go. Now he's got 2 out of 3, and that's a great first touch from Game Fu just to keep the play alive. He actually got back to a great recovery coming out from Game Fu. And the defense, again, struggling to keep up with the play, and I don't blame him. Game Fu getting back to that one so quickly. It's unprecedented.
Nice kickoff, Game Fu. Can he get another one? At this point, we're going to approach double digits, Corelli. I mean, this is getting dangerous territories right now if you're Campo Verde. And we're not even at the halfway point. Valley Christian, this is a statement from their squad for this tournament. They want that trophy.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about it. There's a seriousness about this Valley Christian squad. They're here to win. And honestly, when we interviewed them, Isaac, they were pretty, like, kind of chill about it.
They were
pretty low-key. But I think the gameplay kind of speaks for itself at this point. Debo going to put away another one. 9-0 here in this next game. Or in this current game, I should say.
I think they're aware of that, Curly. I mean, to me, that just speaks confidence. If you're not even coming out here, you know, with this insane charisma, telling everybody you're going to destroy them, and you just do it in-game, that is next-level confidence. You don't even have to say anything, Curly.
I mean, again, when the gameplay speaks for itself, that's the best, the best moment for you, right? You don't have to tell anyone you're good. You know, they'll tell you that you're great.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Oh, another double tap.
I mean, it's just routine now.
This is replay.
That's
free play.
I mean, out of all of them, that's probably one of his worst. So we boo that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, at this point, we're gonna start booing goals. Is that what you want?
Actually, that's a pretty good double tap. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what? It's solid. We'll give it a solid. We've seen better from them.
We've seen better,
we've seen better from the KBM master.
No, I'm sure he's having fun. He's got a lot of time on the ball here between these first few games. And it feels, I mean, we're only halfway through game 3. Goldheart. You know, you can tell that Goldheart's hitting those types of shots. You look at his car.
Yeah.
He does kind of have that.
He's got the sweaty
He's got the sweat car.
He's got the no funny business car.
No funny business. Not messing around.
I got simple wheels.
Double tap on your head.
Standard boost, no hats. A little bit of a bright color. The colors are a little bit out there, though.
I like the colors. I like the colors.
Definitely stands out.
Yeah. and he's been standing out. I mean, it didn't matter what color his car was. He would be standing out regardless.
Yeah.
Debo, a little double tap, looking for some help. Ball's right into the hands of Campo Verde. And
oh, we can see. I mean, they can't even get the ball into the corners right now. The rotations out of Valley Christian's way too tight.
Uh-oh, look out.
Oh, no.
Double tap,
oh,
flip reset.
No, he wants it.
Again?
He
Can't
wants
get down
it.
to it again. Good block from Game Food. That one's not on target, though. But Debo, he's showing he can put away a couple double taps as well. He set himself up a couple times. As Goldheart gets a demo on Darkest. Debo, a flick over the top and off the crossbar. Game Food's there. And look at that, one's across the board.
We're surpassing the double digits, Corelli. We're 11-0. And this is truly a statement, like we talked about for Valley Christians. That was a nice one, nice little flick over. And what do you do? A minute and 11 seconds on the clock. Campo Verde, unfortunately, their hands coming up empty in game number 3. Haven't gotten a goal right now. Certainly could get something to boost the confidence, maybe moving into the next game. At this point, it feels all but certain for a Valley Christian W, but I would like to see Campo Verde going out and going down with a fight.
They certainly have the opportunity to in the next game. Goldheart, maybe one more for the tally. Maybe he's just blasting it around the field. You know, I don't know what, if I'm sitting here on the side, if I'm, you know, Basha or Desert Vista here, what are you thinking as a spectator watching this, you know? Because the winner of that series is more than likely going to have to play Valley Christian here.
I mean, that's a tough one. I think you're getting a lot of data here. You're witnessing what they're capable of.
You got to download them quick.
Certainly downloading a lot of information. That's just mostly been Goldheart in those double taps. And I think you're scared. You know, it's one thing to say, oh, they took the dub pretty confidently, but it's another thing to say, oh, they were winning like 11-0.
Right.
That is a different beast in and of itself.
Yeah. I don't even know what you make of that, right? It's rare to see a scoreline like this, and so for Valley Christian, again, statements have been made here. They have one more game after this to also make a statement. Maybe Goldheart, oh no. This one would be good if he gets it. Sample, great cut, and that's what we need more about at Campo Verde, is jumping up in front of those touches off the back wall and slowing it down. Valley Christian taking game 3. You can see coaches involved for Valley Christian, confidence exuding, and I mean, really, realistically, I mean, knowing their coach though, he's like, I want 15.
Yeah, he's like, this is unacceptable. 11-0? What are you kidding me? What is this, a joke to you guys? We need 14-0.
14, 15 at least.
And that's the energy that we get from them, and we have gotten the entire time, even in the interviews. I mean, they were obviously a little bit more quiet, but they were stoic, very serious. And coming over to the other side, we can see Campo Verde. They've got a lot to recover from and a lot to try and fix and implement in the next game, but at this point, it's going to be difficult. You know you're up against a 3-headed monster.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we have seen crazier things before, Corley. I don't want to overhype or try and get anybody's expectations to see a potential huge comeback, but there have been crazier moments, and I definitely think this squad are in their spot. They've proven themselves here a couple of times in the games.
Absolutely. I think that we've seen a lot of great gameplay coming out from all 3 of Valley Christian. Yes, Goldheart's been the big shooter, the big, you know, pop-off moments, but Game Food contributing here in this game, getting a couple goals, or 3 goals for himself. Debo as well, he's always in the mix. I feel like he's a great little midfielder for Valley Christian right now. Just either the one to kind of exacerbate the attack, but also to be a first man back. So Valley Christian, everything's working perfectly for them here to close out this series.
As we get back into the final potential game here, if things do go the same way they have all series long, we're looking at a clean 4-0, but Campo Verde, they're back in the defensive territory, which they've unfortunately been placed in the entire series. Debo off the ceiling, wants something else, wants something extra. And the movement behind the ball has been stellar, but this net's not wide open yet. Sample has to get a touch, but he can't redirect the momentum. It's just too strong for him, and we see a Game Food goal yet again.
Yeah, great shot from Game Food. Just putting the power behind this one and saying, okay, little keeper check. And Sample, not passing. Got in front of it, but not enough power behind it. As you said, the momentum was moving the wrong direction. And a 1-0 lead here for Valley Christian. See if Campo Verde can get on the board. Get some possession in this series. It's plagued them throughout. Darkest, I think, trying to bring this one down and bait and attack in.
We'll see how this one goes off the backboard. Still more space given up. And a lot of midfield space at that. Look at what Debo has to work with, but a better challenge for Dementor King. This could actually be a goal for them. Unfortunately, kicked away from Goldheart. But this actually looks great for Campo Verde. It looks like they found a little bit of energy in their stride, Corelli. And as I say that, unfortunately, the curse has come out.
There he is. He is the curse of Campo Verde right there is Goldheart. He picks this one up and comfortably carries this one in. And again,
man, they look so good leading into that, though. I'm so sad.
The sign of a great player there, the control behind that touch to push it towards the net. And for Goldheart, again, par for the course for him. For Campo Verde, unfortunate. They were really starting to show a little bit of an attack, some control in the final third. That's where they've really struggled. And Valley Christian comes right back at him.
Debo, big clear, darkest. Love the energy to get up early for that challenge, but unfortunately, it's like they get, you know, a little bit of step one under control. It's just meeting them at the ball, but any plans after that, they don't have any support in the rotation. Darkest was too late there. Second man nowhere to be found, and that's been the struggle. That's been the weak point out of Campo Verde. But they can absolutely bounce back. They've earned their spot here, and they've kept it within 2 goals, and that is a big improvement right now in the final game.
Yeah, I think the previous game was about 7-0 at this point. So for Darkest here, putting a shot on target. Campo Verde trying to put something together. Sample with no boost. There's not a lot of options here for him. Debo. Look at the control, passing this one over to Gainfu. Gainfu back to Debo, and that one goes high. Gainfu, is he gonna steal it? No, he's gonna let it go. Gainfu gonna put that one away with 3 minutes on the clock.
Rolling in smoothly for the boys here at Valley Christian. Off the backboard, Sample wanted to get a touch, didn't read it quite well. That's another free net given to Valley Christian, but they certainly worked for it. Maybe we're going to see another repeated scoreline get into the double digits, but so far I still feel very impressed by Campo Verde in this game. This looks like the best one for the squad in orange. Defense has been tighter. They've been getting some rotations, some transitions out towards the other side, but just not anything else that's, you know, followed up after that. If they get it clear in the corner, there's no second man to go up again. It's really just a chip shot, hoping that we see a mistake out of Valley Christian. And if you're just waiting for mistakes, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to take a dub against a team as composed as Valley.
Here comes Goldheart. He's got 74 boost, 2 defenders in front of him, up and over the first, and that's what you got to do. Turtles, you got to get in front of the ball, and you got to get either the player or the ball. Yeah. And they got the player that time. And now maybe a little pass, that one a little too far out in front. But for Campo Verde, being more proactive on defense has paid off. Debo, he's got boost to work with. Flip reset, you betcha. Flip reset into the net. Debo putting it away like the script said so.
Look at the hype, and it's not even that much hype, to be honest with you. He's just like, oh, yeah, another flip reset. That's business as usual here for me, because I am Debo, and I am just one of the star players.
And that's clean. That's very clean from Debo. Mechanically sound, textbook flip reset, baiting in the defender, and then flipping it over their head as soon as they strike. And for Debo, an easy goal in the end.
Now, that's easy for him, okay?
Easy for him.
Not for us.
Well, speak for yourself.
Okay, buddy.
Speak for yourself. I've seen you play this game.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Well, you haven't seen me play whenever my back's against the wall, have you?
Yeah, that's
and
right.
look at, we might see something special to Campo Verde. Back's against the wall right now. Can they go out with a bang? Love to see them get another goal here or something for the road to walk away with. And regardless of the outcome of this series, if you're Campo Verde, you can be proud, Corelli. You made it to this spot. You played through the group stage. You earned your right here. And you could, hold your head high.
Absolutely. So Campo Verde, maybe one for the road here if they can get back on the board. Goldheart trying to push this one away. An opportunity, and Goldheart, what a clear from him all the way back down the field. Campo Verde, all that time and space they took up. And it's just eliminated with that clear. Dementor King trying to get up as well. He does block the first shot. Goldheart plays it right back into Dementor King. That one throwing off everybody. Nobody knows what to do. And Darkest comes to clean it up, but only for a moment.
Off the backboard again, we go for Valley Christian. 45 on the clock. Scoreline is the lowest we've seen so far in the entire series. Campo Verde looked to have found some of their rotations on the defense, but a little bit too late here in the series. And I'm a little bit confused now to see where this Valley Christian roster goes from here on the offense. I didn't know how they'd find that ball into the midfield, but they, of course, found a path.
Yeah, they absolutely did. And for Valley Christian, it's been perfect from them in this series. 5-0 in Game 4. looking to 4-0 the series in this first semifinal. Remember, we have 2 more matches after this one. Valley Christian certainly going to be moving on to the grand finals. They'll have to play the winner of Basha and Desert Vista. And for Campo Verde, this series, maybe one to forget, but maybe one for the road if they can get back down the field. Sample.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, Corelli. Valley Christian coming out with a statement. Massive game number 1, series 1 for them. And Valley Christian High School will be moving on to the grand finals as they take down Campo Verde.
Absolutely. What a great series coming out from Valley Christian. I mean, this was a series where we kind of had a feeling that they were going to come out and dominate the competition. They certainly did. Goldheart showed his stuff, but honestly, I know that everyone's going to talk about him. I felt like Debo and Gainfu did a great job as well, especially late into that series. Like, they relied on Goldheart to get it going, but Debo constantly involved throughout this series, and Gainfu making his name known, especially late as well. Quality win coming out from Valley Christian.
I mean, this was business as usual, but it was still impressive, and an impressive feat at that, as we saw in the mechanics what they were capable of, and that was just a nice little preview as we see them head into the grand finals. Reminded everybody, this is best of 7s, single elimination. We're only doing 3 matches today. That was the first one, as we now are going to look to see who will match them, who will find themselves up against Valley Christian, a team that has been very, very confidently taking wins so far today, and that was a stellar Series 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're going to get an interview here
we
from
go.
Gainfu. Can you hear us? Are we good? You can hear us? Okay,
Let's see, we got the interview mic on.
You got him on? Okay. Gainfu, welcome to
Yes,
the
sir.
casting booth.
Yes,
How did it feel to get your first series under your belt?
It felt really good.
Yeah.
It was in a good environment with a good team.
Yeah.
And it was fun when we had.
Okay.
When we won.
What was the space like? Are you? I mean, so you have played on a Rocket League LAN before.
Yes, sir.
And what was the experience like now compared to all the other LANs? Is this a little bit more comfortable here at CCS, or what are the vibes feeling like now in that setup?
This one, I would say, was a lot more comfortable. Like, at the last one I was at, there were some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
There wasn't that much staff able
Yeah.
to help out with stuff. And then also the environment itself, like even just being in the room was really nice because even though there were a lot of people around, somehow I didn't feel like too distracted. But
It's dark in there, man.
It was nice. Yeah.
Is that normally how you game, with the lights all the way off, or do you got some?
I have one of those
there
at
it
my
is.
house, the blinds.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Let me ask you about the game a little bit. I mean, Goldheart was going crazy early on. I mean, he was kind of going crazy throughout with the double taps and the control. I mean, for you, what's your role in that? How do you play around that? I mean, obviously there's an expectation, I think, that he's going to go and do that every single time.
Yeah, I'd say for me, my role is they're both insane at double taps, my teammates. And so I'm able to just get it to the backboard, and then more than 90% of the time they end up hitting a crazy shot that ends up from any angle in the net, basically. And so it's really nice having teammates like that. And
Definitely.
I'm glad I'm able to help them with that.
I mean, was this expected now? And what is going to be the transition moving into the grand finals? How are you going to prep? Are you guys going to chill, walk around? You hopefully try and get some more games in? Like, what's the plan of action now as you wait for the grand finals?
We're probably just going to talk about what we did well and then try and improve that even more because you could always do better. And then hope for the best.
Yeah,
there it is.
Perform our best.
Is there a team you want to play, or maybe a team you want to avoid out of Basha and Desert Vista?
Both of them are really good competitors, but we're really excited to face Desert Vista because we know they have an amazing record, and we want to face a good team and have a fun challenge to play.
All right, man. Well, best
like the
of luck.
comments, dude.
Thank you so much for
Excellent work.
joining
Thank
us,
you.
man.
Thank you very much.
That was Gainfu from Valley Christian. They just 4-0.
And you
their
can feel the
competition
confidence.
in
You feel the
Campo
confidence,
Verde.
right? Like it's a
man.
professional interview, it's a professional talk that we had with him. He's not out here just like, I'm in the esports club. I just hang out. These guys, this is their passion. They're serious about this. And, that's also with respect to Campo Verde. I'm sure we would have gotten the same energy from them. These guys want to take this to the next level, and they have almost reached that here.
And that's what we were talking about earlier, with how serious they're taking things, right? What did he say? What are they going to do after this series? They're going to go and talk about it.
That's right.
What they did right, what they did
Break it
wrong.
down.
You can always improve, is what he said. You can always improve on an 11-0 game.
Yeah. I don't know how
That's
much
what
you
I'm
can
saying.
improve,
That's what
to
I'm
be
saying.
honest with you.
Their coach is like 15. It
Yeah.
should have been 15.
Yeah.
You know, he's
And we knew that you could just sense that from that team. As soon as they walked in, we got to chat with the players, and now hopefully these interviews are going to give more of a context to what Valley Christian has to offer. But that was a perfect showing, Corelli. Any last words before we go ahead and throw it to break to get into the next semifinal?
No, exciting that we actually got this off the ground.
Yes, sir.
And only a slight delay in the beginning.
Only a slight delay.
Thank you everybody for bearing with us. And yeah, we're gonna have Basha versus Desert Vista coming up next.